The African Union's admission to G20 is a momentous step. Until recently, South Africa was the only African country member. The AU's membership was announced at the recent G20 summit in India.
To my great satisfaction, the admission was approved at the opening of this summit. His Excellency Modi, the Prime Minister of India, and the members of the G20 endorsed the accession of the African Union to this major economic decision-making body.
Assoumani says the AU's entry would provide a greater voice to the global south within the G20, adding that the African continent now has an opportunity to further its agendas on the global stage.
Of course, it will help a lot. Africa has, of course, internal issues. It must find solutions to those issues, but with multilateralism. Today, we cannot work alone. We have to work with our countries, and therefore, those powerful countries from the G20 can help us in those issues.
Collectively, the 55-member African Union has a GDP of $3 trillion with around 1.4 billion people.
So guys, welcome to the channel. We're a united Africa. It's an undisputed Africa. Welcome, WSXM. So anyway, let's jump into this video. I'm very disappointed in the African Union to go and join the G20, especially now, because the African Union still haven't come to a consensus when it comes down to African issues. They still don't have that much power over other African countries. And I know President Ruto had said in a speech that more African countries need to relinquish more power and give more power to the African Union so they can negotiate on the continent's behalf. But that hasn't happened as yet. So for them to go and jump and join the G20, and then I hear this, the guy in the video saying that the bigger countries can help. Why do we have been preaching this for the longest while? Africa don't need assistance or help or handouts or anything from the West, from Europe, the G20, whatever they want to call themselves, because we have all the resources in the world. First, let me just say this. Yes, we do need to work with other countries. We do need to trade with them. We do need to have a consensus with a working partnership with the West, but not on the level as how the guy in the video is saying, as if Africa cannot move forward without the G20 help. And that is what pisses me off with when some of these presidents talk like this. Not all. Because yeah, most presidents right now on the African continent is coming to grips that they don't need the West. Like, for example, like the Burkina Faso, Niger, Zimbabwe, Uganda, South Africa, Namibia, Algeria, Nairobi, Kenya. So there are a few countries, presidents, that's currently anti-West. And this is what I want to go for from this moment forward, for African countries and presidents to stop talking about we need the West, we need them to do something like that. Listen to what Abraham, the youngest president on the continent currently in Burkina Faso. Look what he just did. He just changed the price from 80 cents euro per kilo for uranium to 200 euro a kilo for the uranium. And he's just 35 years old, so if he can understand this, he can stop all exploitation of his country. Why is it these seasoned and older heads trying to say as if you need the West? He gave a speech recently and he said that if you want to come to Burkina Faso, you have to build your factory here in Burkina Faso and hire with young people. And for you to get any kind of goal or anything, whatever you want, you have to. And he's not the only one who's saying this. You have Museveni said this. President Ruto said this as well. And the newly re-elected president of Zimbabwe, my name Bagwa. Yeah, and they're saying this, but this one guy in this video really pisses me off when it about we need the help of and assistance of Europe and big countries, developing countries. We need to become also I did that video on Eritrea president when he just said that we need to mobilize our resources and stop depending on the West. And he's right. Without all these Western countries needs resources from the continent. So, because we know this, they have to sign better deals. They have to come with refining these resources in our country so we can gain more from it and employ our young people. Because, as I said in this video, the continent is have $3 trillion, well, US dollars in GDP, the entire continent, and about 3 billion people. What now? 1.6 billion people? Yeah, 1.6 billion people. You can imagine, and Africa is the youngest continent by far, by none. So we need to get our young people employed, and we can start because we have the minds, we have the talent, we have multiple engineers and we have multiple engineers and inventors on the continent. So it can be done, but we need presidents like Museveni and Menengagwa, President Ruto, and who am I missing? I'm missing one. But we're missing a few, and the president of Burkina Faso, which is Abraham. We need some more presidents like these to stand firm, regardless of sanctions and bullying and all of this, so we can make the continent and African countries move forward. And Africa are going to be the next giant when it comes on to finance. It's going to take some time. We might see it in our lifetime, but when I say our lifetime, I mean like the older people lifetime. Like, so in the next 20, 30 years, Africa should be on a level where it's going to be unbelievable. So anyway, let me know what you think about this, about the African Union joining the G20. And they are confirmed, so they are now a permanent member. What do you think about it? Leave a comment in the comment section and let's talk about it. Boom.